I'm Gemma from Communities for Work, and I've put together some guidance on how to write a CV. The first tip is that your CV shouldn't be too long. 1 or 2 pages is long enough to give an employer a sense of who you are and what you've achieved in the past. So start by writing a general CV that outlines your personal contact details, and you should always make sure you've got your current phone number and email address at the top of the CV underneath your name. It's up to you whether you want to add your full address on the CV. Sometimes it's enough just to put down the area that you live in, because should you be offered employment, you'll have to give the employer your full address and postcode anyway. So once you've got this sort of general CV that you're starting to create, don't forget that you're going to be adapting the CV each time for each specific job description that you are applying for. So the next section, which is on your personal profile, will be a very short paragraph just outlining your main sort of transferable skills and experience. But again, this can be adapted each time you apply for a job, and your Communities for Work mentor will be able to help you do this by highlighting key terminology and phrases and buzzwords in the job description, and then tailoring your personal profile or statement to match that job. There are some examples in the CVs below this video link to show you how this can be done. After the personal profile, the next section should always be about your work experience or experience in general if you've never worked. So you should start by listing your most recent job, and don't forget to put down the job title, the employer and the period in which you work there. Try and be specific and give dates and months so that the potential employer reading your CV can see that you're being transparent. You should also list some of the main responsibilities from that previous role, and also include some of your main accomplishments in that job as well. So once you've highlighted your work history or your employment history and experience, you can sit with your Communities for Work mentor and look at how some of the work you've done previously will help you in applying for the specific job description that you're looking for. Like I said, if you've never worked, you can list in this section work experience that you might have undertaken or voluntary work that you might have undertaken. And again, if you started from scratch and you haven't got any experience at all, Communities for Work and their partners can help you start to build your CV and your experience base so that you can apply for some of the jobs that might be out there. The next section after experience is education and qualifications. So you should start this section with your most recent qualification, and don't forget to list the subject, the awarding body or the institution at which you studied, and also give a date for the qualification. This is really important because obviously some jobs are reliant on up-to-date qualifications and certificates. Again, if you haven't ever studied or haven't had a chance to undertake any formal qualifications, Communities for Work can help you with this section too, because we've got an array of free training that we can access through Welsh Government funding and through different partnerships with other schemes. So be sure to look at the kind of qualifications that employers are looking for in the sector that you're interested in, and bring that information back to your mentor, who can help you identify different pathways into free training. The next section on a CV is hobbies and interests. Now it's up to you whether you want to include anything in this section. You can think about how potentially some hobbies and interests might make you more appealing to an employer. So for instance, if I was applying for a job in a clothing store and I was really passionate and interested in fashion and textile design, something like that might help the employer see that I was a particularly well-rounded candidate for the role. The last section on your CV should always be for references. Now, it's perfectly acceptable to just put down that references are available on request, but what you need to consider is that the potential employer will always need to contact 2 referees, and my advice is to make sure that those referees have an up-to-date copy of your CV so that they can see exactly what it is they're validating when they provide a reference for you. The Communities for Work mentor again will be able to help you identify some really positive referees from your previous experience, and they can help you contact the referee and explain about the jobs that you're applying for and the kind of reference that sector might require from them as well. So it's a good idea to keep in touch with your referees so that they're always aware if you've put their name and their professional contact details forward to a prospective employer. So like I said, underneath this video you'll find some examples of good and bad CVs and some different templates and examples of CVs for different sectors as well. But what's important to remember is that your CV is unique to you and your experiences, and we can always help you tailor a CV to present yourself in the best light to an employer. But the most important thing is that it is a true reflection of what you've accomplished so far. Okay, we hope this video is helpful, and please write to us if we can provide any more information. Thank you, bye.